All right, so we're going to adjust our DC balance by adjusting VR1 with a multimeter hooked up to millivolts. All right, and the ground, black to ground, positive, red, positive to pin 14, which this, don't go by this. This is a little deceiving because it only shows 4 pins here, 3 pins, and it doesn't really quite show that as a pin. Make sure you're checking the schematics, and pin 14 is labeled TP. All right, so be sure that that is the case. All right, that is 14 labeled TP. You can see it better over on this one here. The blue is TP. All right, so no load. All right, so speakers are not hooked up. All right, there's no speakers, no inputs. Volume is all the way down. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll power it up. We'll see how close it gets, and we need to adjust it because it is showing a little high. All right, we want to be within 25 millivolts. I'd like to get it down around somewhere as close to 0 as possible. That looks pretty good. All right, so that's the left channel. I don't want to keep it there too long. It's coming back up. So let's go ahead and see if we can get it down there. Negative. All right, right there. That looks pretty good. That looks real nice. All right. Now we'll go ahead and we'll do the same on the right channel. All right. One, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, labeled TP. All right. And we'll go ahead and we'll revisit this. All right. All right, so it is a little high, settling down. All right, just put maybe a quarter turn on it. Let it sit there for a minute. All right, I do need to adjust it just a little. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way. We want to get to 0. And again, this should be somewhere 0 to plus or negative 25 volts. And we are now right there. That looks pretty good to me. All right, that's settling down right there. -1, -2. All right, happy with that. Moving on to idle current between 17 and 11. We want to get it reads 15 millivolts or at least in the 10 to 25. All right, and we are right at 15 millivolts. So left channel is good. Channel is hooked up between 11 and 17, and we are good on that as well. Right at 15. where I left it. So the only thing, when it was on the dim bulb, just had to tweak the DC balance just a little. So now that power it down, and we'll go ahead and we'll hook up a load and input and test it out again. All right. And we're good. Alright, so we've got it up and running. Been testing it for last night and this morning. The family's out of the house, so I got to really crank it, and due to copyright issues and everything, I can't really play a lot of music on YouTube. But boy, this thing's got some headroom. And this is running some 6 ohm SB7000s. They are a little power hungry of a speaker. They definitely perform well with the receivers, amps over 60 watts. I wouldn't probably run anything less than that. But it's my 980 is typically running at around about 90 watts with the 6 ohms. And so this thing just, the sound quality and everything isn't that much different than the 980. They're pretty similar sounding, but the headroom and the bass is definitely more on this. All right, I do notice the bass on this one has a little more oomph to it, and by all means it should 180 watts, but it's amazing. It's running. It was a long journey to get here. Mainly due to semiconductor issues, there was a lot wrong with this unit, as you can see from the initial video. I mean, everything from, jumped capacitors that were bad that somebody just wired in a jumper, open relays that were arcing that were bad. There was just so many traces that were cooked, shoddy work prior. So every capacitor and most transistors were replaced on this. Every board got serviced, including the amp boards, with new transistors and capacitors. And new pots, 30-turn pots on there. The bias, the balance was set, and the bias was set. So it exceeded my expectation of the sound quality. It's just phenomenal. So this should be good for another 30 or 40 years. And I'm very happy with the way it turned out. The case is in real nice shape. There's a little nicks and stuff here and there, but for the most part, for a 50-year-old receiver, it's great shape. And this came to me through a friend as a working parts-only receiver. Yeah, so this is the bad boy. We'll close out with a little more amplification. We'll put it up a little more here. I think that's all about what YouTube lets us get away with. So yeah, great turnout. Happy with it.